On today's episode, we take a look at All-Region Choir. The iPhone 13 has been released. We hear from students about this new device. And how did Coach Reardon change the culture in the Chapel Hill football program? All this and more next on OTH News. Hello and welcome to OTH News. My name is Lacey Hackett. Many students have life-changing experiences during their high school years. Carly Finch talks with one Chapel Hill student who has seen the world because of her support of the law enforcement.
Here at Chapel Hill High School, we have many outstanding students, but one individual stands out among the rest. Savannah Solis is a junior and is involved in many extracurricular activities. But on top of that, she has traveled the world thanking law enforcement and has even wrote a children's book named She Believed She Could, So She Did.
My mission is to encourage law enforcement. I wanted to write thank you cards after I saw that 2 detective officers in New York City were gunned down. And as a 10-year-old, I had a lot of questions, so I just wanted to show my appreciation for law enforcement for what they do, and that's how everything started. I've written around 11,000 thank you cards and handed them out to law enforcement personally. I've also sent cards to 12 different countries, and after I first started doing the thank you cards, I started the Savannah Challenge, and that's where I go to different schools and speak and get kids to show their appreciation for law enforcement in any way that they can. I believe 5 kids from different countries have taken the Savannah Challenge, and around 130,000 kids in the U.S. have taken that challenge as well. So I have been faced with a few challenges along this journey. I think one of the main ones is there are people with different opinions than I do, and they will tell me to maybe not support law enforcement, but for me it's so much more than just supporting these officers. You know, they have families, they go home to their families every single day after a hard day of work, and you know, these officers also don't know if they're going to be coming back home to see their kids, their wife, their husband. So it's very important for me to just keep showing them appreciation, and I will continue to support them. It's just kind of hard to show that appreciation, so I want to encourage more and more people to take the Savannah Challenge, to say thank you, and to help officers feel more comfortable in their environment, in their communities, and let them know that they feel loved, or that they are loved. And that's my hope for this whole journey. That's what I want to get out of this whole journey for these officers. And I hope that one day I can become a police officer. That's always been my dream since I was a lot younger. So I guess the older I get, we'll see how that goes. I hope I can encourage people though.
The Chapel Hill Choir recently auditioned for the All-Region Choir and had an impressive performance.
It's the time of season for our Chapel Hill's All-Region Choir auditions. This year, 9 students auditioned and placed in the region, but only 8 of these students will be advancing to the next round in area. Senior choir student Jacobin Campbell tells us more about what All-Region is.
You go there, it's a clinic and concert, so you get to work with people that, like you get to work with directors, and then they clinic us, and then we perform as a group, all the people who made it. They take, well, from our region, more than 15 people tried out, but they take the top 15 and the top 10 advance to pre-area. So I made second chair, so I got to advance to pre-area. And so on November 16th, which is a Tuesday, we get to do pre-area competition, and they take the top 8 or 7, I think, and then they take them to area. And area is in December, I think. No, area is either December or January. And then from that competition, they would take, I think, the top, I can't remember, I think 7 chairs, and if you make the top 7 chairs, you make the All-State Choir, which is a really good experience that you get to do in February, and it's a really good experience.
Jacobin then tells us about his experience and upcoming events.
I've been doing our region since I was an 8th grader in middle school, so I have a lot of experience in it, and this year wasn't really scary to me because I was like really pushing for it. My sophomore year, I did it, and I actually made the All-Region Choir, and it was a good experience. I had my first concert and everything. I did advance to pre-area, but I didn't advance to area, which is kind of sad. Last year, my junior year, was COVID, and so a lot of things got mixed up, and I did make the Origin Choir, but the whole process was a lot last year, so I didn't get to go to like the next round. But this year, I did try out, and I think I did pretty good for myself.
Brought to you by OTH Productions.
All of those involved. Apple recently released their iPhone 13. Jaquan talks with students about the new device.
The iPhone 13 has recently been launched and is already captive some customers into buying it and testing the new features.
How many stars would you rate it, 1 out of 10?
A 4.
Why?
It's a lot better than the 11 in my opinion. My 11 was broke, so I needed a new phone.
Okay. Do you think it's worth the cost?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not really that good. It do the same thing as the other phones, just a lot bigger.
Okay.
The new iPhone 13 has a few new features like size, thickness, color, and aperture. However, the most noticeable change is the iOS 15, which is also updates onto other iPhones.
Are there any new features?
None but the iOS 15 update that everybody got.
When it comes to comparing the iPhone 13 to others like the 11, our interview says there's not much of a noticeable change.
Okay, are you planning on buying the iPhone 13?
No.
Any reasons?
Because I'm fine with my own phone, but it seems cool. Like, it seems like a good phone, but it's just like, I just want to get it myself.
Okay, can you compare your old phone to that phone? What do you miss about it?
But my old phone? Nothing.
Why?
Because it was broke and I couldn't do nothing on there. But I do like this one a lot.
If you could change anything about that phone, what would you change?
Nothing so far. It's pretty good.
What's your favorite thing about your phone?
How big it is and I can watch big old shows on there. It's pretty nice.
Yes, I have the new iPhone and I do like it.
Now the question is, we are all wondering, how much is this phone?
Yes.
How much was your phone?
It was $1,999. Ooh. Do I start talking?
Oh, you recording? I was looking at the camera.
I didn't know she was recording.
Okay, you can start.
Okay.
Football program is always talked about, but how do you do it? Isaiah Brooks reports on how Coach Reardon has changed the culture of Chapel Hill football.
Bulldogs head coach Jeff Reardon has only been here for 3 years and has changed the culture drastically.
I think the biggest change is the mindset of the staff and the kids, and the amount of work we put in over the last couple of years makes it hard to go out there and not be successful. So I think the expectation for us every week now is the expectation to win, whereas when I got here, that might not have been the expectation, and it seemed like people were okay with losing. And now when we lose, we're miserable. So the expectation, the culture definitely has changed in that aspect, because it went from a culture of expecting to lose to a culture of expecting to win and being highly disappointed when we're not successful.
In his first year, the Bulldogs went 2-8 without winning a game in the District of Doom. In his second year, the Bulldogs started off hot at 3-0 and ended up fighting their way into the playoffs, exceeding expectations, going 3 rounds deep.
I think the atmosphere is just a positive environment, an environment where you got people on board and people excited about what the Bulldogs are doing every week. I think people are coming with no different than the atmosphere in our locker room and amongst our coaching staff. The expectation of the community and the fans is different now too, and it just brings excitement to the entire school district, and the entire community, and just excited where we're moving towards.
We also asked some of the senior players who experienced the change in the culture.
I feel like it got more serious. It used to be more independent. Now we more like a family.
Well, when Coach Real came, he showed everybody that he believed in us, and I think that just gave everyone some motivation to work harder and build themselves to be a better person and just try to get out there and be the best one in his eyes to make everyone happy and work together to be a team, be a family, just keep everybody strong and keep their heads up.
This year, the Bulldogs are 5-2 and 1-2 in the district as they prepare to take on Kilgore Bulldogs this Friday, October the 15th.
Thanks, Isaiah. This will do it for this edition of OTH News. Be sure to follow us on all our social medias and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For OTH News, I'm Lacey Hackett.